Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing episode of Summer on the Mic. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm your host, Miss Summer Erugo. And if this is not your first time, my returning listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. This is episode 8, and we'll be discussing self-acceptance. So we've already explored self-awareness. Today we'll be taking it a step further by discussing self-acceptance and the art of embracing your true self. Now, what does it truly mean to accept yourself? A dictionary definition of self-acceptance is that it is the ability to acknowledge and appreciate your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and your limitations without any judgment or criticism. Simply put, self-acceptance means accepting yourself exactly as you are and exactly as you're not. So I began this episode with the Serenity Prayer. Think of self-acceptance as giving yourself the permission to be human. There are obviously certain things about ourselves that we cannot change. It could be your face structure, it could be your voice, and so on. But we must learn to accept these things. And there are also things about ourselves that we can actually change. Maybe your behavior, strengthening your weaknesses. But what is important is that we have the wisdom to know the difference between those two things.
So now, what does it mean to not accept yourself?
Now, growing up, I used to get a lot of comments about my voice. Story for another day. But initially, I used to be very quiet, but I didn't let it define or confine me. As I grew older, I started to accept myself, and I actually discovered the power of my voice. I embraced my natural voice and started speaking up with so much more confidence. Now, one thing you can't control is what others think or say about you, but you can control how you react and the way you talk to yourself. One thing I've realized is that human standards constantly changes, especially beauty standards. So something that used to be beautiful to people before may not be beautiful to them anymore, or something that was not beautiful to people starts to look beautiful to them. For example, freckles. There was a time where people with freckles were constantly criticized for the freckles on their faces. But now, so many people are looking for ways to infuse freckles on their faces. I've seen Snapchat filters that have freckles, and even people doing makeup try to add some little spots on their makeup just so that it looks like they have freckles. So we have to learn to accept ourselves regardless of what people think about us. Sometimes it's not even people that tell us these things. We use our mouths to speak negatively or negative things about ourselves. So do you struggle with negative self-talk, telling yourself, I'm not beautiful, look at all these acne on my face, or self-doubt, you don't think you can do something, or maybe fear of even sharing your talents? Some people have anxiety just posting online or comparing yourself to somebody. This all indicates signs of self-rejection. So self-acceptance is recognizing your strengths, your weaknesses, embracing your uniqueness. So you're amazing at something, celebrate it, embrace it, or start to tell yourself there's nothing wrong with me. There are obviously things that you can improve on, but there's nothing wrong with you. And this is where you come to true self-acceptance. We also need to start practicing self-compassion. A lot of us treat other people with much more kindness than we treat ourselves. Treat yourself with as much kindness as you would treat somebody else. Love and accept yourself unconditionally. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship that you would have. And we need to remember that we are created by God. He designed you. You're His masterpiece. So you're not a mistake. One thing the enemy will constantly try to do is keep us in a place of self-doubt and insecurity, making you believe lies about yourself. I'm a failure. I can't do anything right, or I'm ugly. So the truth that we must start to tell ourselves is, you're wonderfully and beautifully made by God. I may struggle, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. If you want to stop caring about what others think of you, you must fully accept yourself for who you are, with all your flaws, all your imperfections, and your insecurities. Accepting yourself is admitting that, okay, you might not be good at something, or you might have strengths in something else. Embrace it. Look for ways to improve on it, than constantly beating yourself up about what you can or cannot do. We discussed self-awareness in episode 6, so if you haven't listened to it, please go back and check it out. Trying to relate this with self-awareness. To truly accept yourself, you must first understand yourself. So now, how can we practice self-acceptance? How can you accept yourself? The first thing you must do is acknowledge your emotions. Now, it is okay for you to feel the way you feel, but do not let it define you or limit what you can do. Do not let it make you feel less of yourself. The second thing we must do is learn to give ourselves grace. The same way you would extend grace to somebody else, learn to extend that same grace to yourself. So embrace yourself for who you are with your flaws, your imperfections. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself kindly. Also allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. Refrain from negative self-talk. Basically embracing the fact that you're not perfect and nobody is. The third thing you must do is focus on your strengths. There are obviously things that you're very good at, so improve on it. Rather than looking for all the things that you're not good at, focus on the things that you're good at and work on them, improve on them. Number 4, set realistic expectations. Stop trying to meet up to one high standard. And even if you try to, if you don't meet up to those standards, it's also okay. The fifth thing you must do is surround yourself with positive influences. I spoke about this in the last episode. Surround yourself with people that can uplift your spirit. So let's say you don't feel so beautiful today. You need to have people around you that would literally rebut those type of statements and be like, stop it, Joe. You don't know how beautiful you look. As I conclude, I would just say that self-acceptance frees you to be yourself. And until you accept yourself, you would never truly understand your worth. You will never experience the freedom to be yourself, and you would never discover the power of your authenticity. And remember, self-acceptance is a conscious journey. Make constant effort to accept and embrace your true self. I found this poem that I'm going to read, and I would love for you to read it along with me. I am just me. I'm not perfect. I'm me. I've made bad decisions and wrong choices, but I'm me. I've said the wrong things and I've said the right things because I am me. I don't like everything I've done, but I did it because I'm me. I've loved the wrong people and I've trusted the wrong people, but I'm still me. If I had the chance to start again, I wouldn't change anything because I am me. Are there things I would want to improve on? Yes. Do I have flaws? Yes, because I am me. There are a lot of good things about me. I need to start looking past the imperfections to see what's right. I am the best I can be. I am me. And we have come to the end of this episode. I really hope you learned something insightful today. Please make sure you're following Summer on the Mic on either of your preferred podcast streaming platforms or on YouTube, and also on Instagram at Summer on the Mic. Share with somebody you think needs to hear this, and please leave a comment. I would love to hear your feedback, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye guys, have a lovely week.